Let us start with the first mechanism. The first mechanism that we are going to understand are gears. In your set, you have three different kinds of gears. You have G20+, you have G20 idler, and you have G60+. Now let us understand how they get their naming convention. The G20+ gear has 20 teeth. It has a plus in the center to attach a shaft like this. The second gear is called G20 idler. Again, it has 20 teeth. But if you notice, in the center, you have a circular hole to which you can attach some other form of connector. This gear is called G60. Again, it has a plus in the center to attach a shaft like this, and it has 60 teeth. Now we'll see what are the uses of gears. With gears, we can change the direction of rotation, we can change the speed of motion, or we can also change the torque that is affecting the body. Now let us understand how we use gears to change the direction of rotation. For that, we will be using two G20 gears. So over here you can see we have these G20 gears. This is a base plate, we call it P7x11. Now suppose we attach two gears like this. Since it has a plus, we will be using a shaft like this. Now we have connected one gear like this with a shaft. Else the shaft would fall off. Since we have already attached the first gear, we can attach the second G20 gear at this location, at this location, at this location, or at this location. To attach the next G20 gear, what we'll do is, again we'll connect it using a shaft. As you can see, we have attached the second G20 and we have locked it using another piece, we call it P3+. So you can lock the shaft using a G20 gear, a G60 gear like this, or even a P3+ piece like this. Now if you notice, when the first gear moves in this direction, the other gear is moving in the other direction. Notice the movement of the shafts. This shaft is moving in counterclockwise direction and the second shaft is moving in clockwise direction. In this manner, we can use gears to change the direction of rotation. Now we will see how we can use idler to change the direction. Again, we have made a small setup. As you can see, we have a G20+ gear, you have a G20+ gear over here, and we are going to connect both of them using a G20 idler. As discussed before, we use a different kind of connector to attach G20 idler. This connector is called as CL2 and this rotates freely in this space. This is a G20 idler. You attach it like this. Now concentrate on this shaft and this shaft. When we rotate this shaft in counterclockwise direction, you can see the second shaft is also rotating in the counterclockwise direction. Why does it happen? It happens because if you notice, this gear is rotating in counterclockwise direction, which makes the idler rotate in clockwise direction. As a result, the output shaft or the second shaft over here, it also rotates in counterclockwise direction. Now let us see the effect of adding two idlers and see what is the change in direction. Over here, you have a G20+, you have a G20 idler, you have a G20 idler followed by a G20+. We'll call this shaft A and we will call this shaft B. Again, the whole mechanism is held by a P3+ at the back. So concentrate on this shaft and this shaft. When shaft A is rotating counterclockwise, you will notice that shaft B is rotating clockwise. It is happening because this rotates counterclockwise, which makes this idler gear rotate clockwise. This turns the second idler gear in counterclockwise direction, turning shaft B in clockwise direction. By attaching different idlers, we can always manage to change the rotation of shaft B in any direction that we want. Now let us understand how we can use gears to change the speed of rotation. Remember, we have gears with two different teeths. One is G20 and second is G60. Using these two gears, we can change the speed of the rotation of the shaft. You can already see that we have connected a G20+ gear over here. Now let us see how to connect G60+ and see the change in speed of the shaft. Now this is a G20+ gear and this is a G60+ gear. Concentrate on shaft A and shaft B. When we rotate shaft A, you can see that the shaft B is moving slowly. This is because of the difference in the number of teeths of gear A and gear B, that is G20+ and G60+. Even though we have seen shaft A and shaft B rotating at different speeds, let us try to verify with this marker. As you can see, we have drawn a line between these two gears. Now concentrate when these lines made by markers meet again. So as you can see, the first gear has made one rotation. Now it has made the second rotation. Only at the third rotation we can see that both the lines are matching again, which means that when this gear makes 3 rotations, the G60 gear makes 1 rotation. So we can conclude that this gear moves 1/3 at the speed of this gear. If we connect motor to this shaft, this gear is called the driver gear and this gear is called the driven gear. In this way, we can achieve the change in speed using 2 different gears. What would happen if we would just swap the driven gear and driver gear? Let us consider that this is a driver gear and suppose we connect motor to this shaft. Then this shaft would become a driven shaft and this gear is called as driven gear. As we can see that when the outer gear, that is the G60 gear, completes 1 rotation, the G20 gear, that is the blue gear, it completes 3 rotations. Which means that the speed of G20 shaft is 3 times the speed of this shaft. So by connecting gears in this fashion, we can increase the speed thrice. And in this fashion, the speed of the output gear is reduced by 1/3. Till now, we have seen how we can use one G20 and one G60 to change the speed or change the torque of the output shaft. Now, we'll build something interesting and it is called as a compound gearbox. In this, we will be using multiple G20s and G60s in a particular fashion to increase speed more or to achieve a higher torque. As you can see, we have already connected a G20 piece to this P7x11. Now, you take one G60 and connect it to G20 like this. Now as you can see, we will call this input shaft and we will call this shaft A. When the input shaft is rotating at a particular speed, the shaft A is rotating at the speed that is 1/3 of input shaft. We connect one more G60 like this and we make sure that this G60 meshes with G20 on shaft A. We will call this output shaft. Now see how this output shaft rotates. Shaft A rotates at 1/3 the speed of input shaft. This shaft rotates at 1/3 the speed of shaft A. So the relationship between the output shaft and input shaft is the output shaft is rotating at 1/9 the speed of this, which means that when the input shaft will make 9 rotations, the output shaft will make 1 rotation, which also means that in this compound gearbox, we have increased the torque by 9 times. The torque that is present on the output shaft is 9 times the torque on the input shaft, and the speed is 1/9 of this speed. Similarly, if we make the compound gearbox in this fashion, and we consider this as the input shaft and this as the output shaft, in this case, the speed of the output shaft is 9 times the speed of the input shaft. However, this is going to reduce the torque on the output shaft by 9 times. So you can clearly see here that the output shaft is rotating at a very high speed. In this way, you can create bigger compound gearbox by using multiple G20s and G60s. Suppose you have created a model where you want to lift a very heavy weight and you connect motor like this. When you start the motor, you can see that the motor is not able to lift this heavy load. For this, we need to increase the torque of the motor, and this can be achieved by using a compound gearbox. Over here, we can observe how the power of compounding is used to lift a heavy weight at this end. We have a G20 connected to a G60. These two G20 gears are driven by this shaft, which we call shaft A, and this is the output shaft. Now, this whole assembly can be moved. Okay, and we will be using the power of compounding to lift this heavy weight. This is the 3-volt battery box. We can see that by using the power of compounding, we are able to lift heavier loads by using the gearbox. Let us see one more mechanism that we can build using gears. Over here, you can see that the G60 gear is locked in its place. G20 plus gears which are connected to the motor. So when the whole system meshes like this, the top portion can rotate freely on the G60 gear.